What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're back at it, making some videos. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment on these videos, share them. It really helps the channel a lot. New videos come out on Sundays, and you can always check the whole Wizard Golf playlist by clicking the link up here or in the description. And if you would like to leave a donation and support the channel, there are links for that in the description also. I also want to say thanks to all of you subscribers and people that watch the videos. It's really helpful for sticking around. Last year was my first year posting golf videos, and this will be the second, so we're going to pick up where we left off, working on some pitching things. I know I've been away for a couple of months. I was on vacation for a month, and then it took me about another month to get my life back in order after being gone for so long, but here I am again. And we're going to pick up with pitching, our short approaches, our small shots, and we're going to try to get the ball close to the hole. Today, we're going to go over the technique necessary to hit your short approaches towards the hole. In the last couple of videos, we discussed distance control, and before that, the foundations for your short approaches. And in this video, we're going to talk more about the technique and what's necessary in order to hit the ball straight and close to the hole. In order to hit the ball to a desired target, two things really have to happen simultaneously. We have to be aware of two things anyway. One of those is the club path through impact and the face angle through impact. When we combine both of those two things together, this is what's going to dictate where the ball goes after we hit it. To have an understanding of that will help you in developing your swing and your technique so that you can actually hit it where you want to. So in this video, we'll talk about both of those things, club path and face angle. So first, let's talk about club path. Club path is generally going to dictate where the ball starts out. And ideally, we want the path to be going towards the target. Now, this is going to be relative because we are swinging this club on an arc. It is a curved path. The path is not exactly straight. So when we swing this club to a particular target, and I'm going to be using this alignment stick here, which is aimed at this close flag to me, to dictate what the path would be. Ideally, I would want the club traveling down this path through impact anyway, through a distance of about this, through impact, as straight to this line as possible. That is going to give me the best chance to send this ball towards that flag or towards that target. Now, when we set up traditionally, we're told, we were taught to set up hip square, feet square, shoulder square, everything square. And to actually get the club traveling on this path, square is not going to work so good for that. If I set up square to this alignment stick, my heels are square, hips are square, shoulders are square, parallel to this alignment stick. If I were to just rotate back, and let's pretend that I'm going to line up right on top of the alignment stick. If I were to take the club back from here with just a rotation, kind of like a putt, you can see that the club goes almost straight inside. As I rotate my body backwards, the club goes back this way, almost immediately. So it's way inside over here. You can see that just by turning my body, the club moves almost along the path of this silver of my club here, not the intended target line. So if I stand square to my target and then just rotate backwards without lifting my arms any, the club goes back on this path. And if the club goes back on that path, then coming through to the ball, it's going to want to tend to go out in that path also, somewhat. So my path is going to be kind of well across my intended target line. Now there's a couple of reasons for this. One is that we don't hold the club symmetrically. We generally hold the club with our trail arm, or in this case my right hand, lower than the left. So because the right hand is lower than the left, the way that I'm holding the golf club is already asymmetrical. So I can't think about hitting the ball symmetrically when I'm not even holding the club symmetrically. My right shoulder is now lower. I'm grabbing it lower. I'm having to tilt back a little bit. I'm already in a certain position. Being in this position causes the club to come back inside quite a bit towards us, inside. If I were to hold the club the other way and rotate back, you see that it would be much straighter. Almost half of this angle that's produced here. It's coming back more this way. So we want this path to be towards the target. If I were to stand square and force the club to go down this path, or somewhere close to it, notice that I would have to turn back, rotate, and simultaneously push my arms outwards to follow that line. So I would have to push out and turn simultaneously quite a bit, because if I just turn, the club is here, and then I would have to push the club out to over here and pick my arms up away from my body. This is not ideal. If I have to make two motions, that's going to be more challenging and difficult than making one motion only. On these approach shots, I want to try to simplify my process, simplify my movements, so that I have fewer moving pieces and can have a higher chance or a higher probability of making good contact and making a good swing. The more moving pieces, the more places there are for failure. So having fewer moving parts, fewer motions is going to be simpler and thus more efficient and easier to hit the ball. So to get the path, if I stand square, to get this path to go straight, I have to push the club out and dip a little bit. And then from there, I'm not really sure where I would go. Maybe up, maybe around. Either way, it's not going to be conducive to hitting the ball straight. It's not clear to me how to go this way, and then when I would come down, then that means I would have to also go out the other way. It's very confusing. So in order to compensate for this, to get the club traveling on a straighter path with the intended path, the intended target line, what I can do is actually turn my body towards the target. We talked about this in the first video on this section about standing slightly open to the target. Standing open to the target is going to be a more natural way to hit these shorter shots. Think of it as an underhanded toss. If I were to toss the ball this way or down the target line, I would not want to stand square to my target line, parallel, and then toss the ball across my body. It would be much easier for me to send it down this path if I were to face my body with the path and make a motion like this where my arm is folding and everything is going towards the target, like throwing a cornhole bag or bowling, something of this nature. So I think of these approaches as being a similar motion, like this, and I want to stand facing the target. Why do we stand open? By standing open, I can get my path to go straight down this pole. If here's my square position, and you can see that just by rotating like a putt, it's way inside, so I can adjust this. I can just start turning, and just by turning a little bit, now you see, now my path is much straighter down this pole, and I haven't done anything. I'm not picking it up now. All I've done is turned my hips more toward the target, so now pulling it back inside, or what was inside before, is actually straight now. So I'm not having to modify my body motions. I'm modifying the position of my body such that my path, my normal, natural, easy to make path, is straight with my target line. In other words, I'm not trying to stand straight and then swing straight. I want to make a motion that's easily repeatable, which for me is this, and then I want that to be straight with my target line. In order to do that, we have to turn the body open some. And so see, now this path is going very much down the target line. as opposed to standing like this, in which the path is going this way. And again, the path comes back inside because of a side effect of having to grip it with the right hand low. So by standing open, I can get this club traveling down this path, my intended path. This is going to make it far easier for me to send the ball down this path or in that direction. So opening the body allows us to actually make a simple swing by rotation, not by picking the hands up, but by rotation and swinging down the path. In order to find your own path, you're going to have to find exactly at what position you need to put your body so that you can move the club relatively straight with your target line. To find this, I recommend gripping the club and then set up on top however you would normally set up. And then once you set up like that, get in a good posture, and then just rotate your upper body, trying to keep this right elbow kind of close to your body. We're going to go over more on this on the next video, but having the right elbow close to the body gives us a lot of control. And for me, this is my right elbow. For left-handed golfers, it's going to be your left, but it's your trail elbow. If my elbow is far away from my body, I have a lot less control. I've got a lot more distance to move it. This gives me control, and this is why you see all of the great players as they come in through impact, that right elbow is tucked and very much in the side and coming through like this, because this is what gives us control. If my elbow is far out from me, it's very hard for me to maintain control. This gives us control. Having the elbow here and then coming back in like this. So when you set up over this stick, have your elbow kind of tucked with the back of your elbow facing upwards, not outwards like this. So try to rotate your arm so that the back of your elbow, so your arm is folding upwards, because we do want this to fold this way, remember. And then make a turn. Just turn your body the way you would a putt. And when you turn, take note of your path. Notice where the club is going. And you'll see that it's probably going very far inside, especially if you're not picking it up. Once you notice that, make a motion that feels pretty good, and then start opening your body until you can get that path to go very much in line with your target or with your alignment stick. So you can see a rotation of from here to about here gets me going down the target. If I rotate the other way, it goes much more this way, across the target line. And if I'm too much, it would go inside or outside in over the top. So I just find that position until I can get this club moving very much down this target through impact. Not the whole way. Again, it arcs. It's going to come inside, and it's going to come inside over here. But through impact, I really want it moving very straight with the target line. Once you identify that position, memorize that. That's going to be a great position for you to be in to hit these shots with a straight club path. So you've got your club path taken care of. You found a good position for your body such that you can easily move the club along a straight path with your target. Now we'll talk about the face angle. The face angle is going to be far more important for the direction in which the ball goes than the path. Face angle has a higher weight or a greater impact on where the ball ends up than the path. Path is important, but face angle is more important. In order for the ball to go straight down this alignment stick, once I have my path relatively straight through impact, then I need the face angle to be perpendicular to the path through impact. I want the face angle to be almost as square and perpendicular to the target line as possible, and that is the leading edge. When we aim, we never look at this area over here because it's slanted. We look at the bottom groove or the leading edge. This area needs to be perpendicular to your intended target line. So I set up, I get in my position, I swing back and forth, just rocking like a putt until I get the path very much straight down the line. And then you want to look at the face as you go back and forth and see what it's doing through impact. If it's slightly closed or hooded, you have to turn it into your grip so that it's open, or if it's slightly open, then you close it. I talked about in the grip video to show you what a neutral position is to find as you extend your arms away and hold the club out, making sure that the leading edge is going vertical or straight up or something close to that. You know, nuanced golf, you know, you might learn that you need to have it slightly open or closed depending on your swing and how you want to hit the ball, but relatively vertical. If I have a straight path here with a perpendicular club face or a square club face through impact, the ball necessarily, and I make good contact, the ball necessarily has to go straight with this line. It will go down the line. If the face is open, it will go right. If the face is closed, it will go left. Of course, I am speaking from a right-handed golfer's perspective, so if you're left-handed, you'll have to switch these things. So to send this golf ball down this path, I need a straight path in addition to a straight club face or a square club face. So you want to adjust your club face until when you make your swings through here, the club face is square to the path. Now, what I don't want to do certainly is rotate the club in this manner. I do not want any of this motion, like you're rotating a doorknob, happening in my swing whatsoever. Because face angle is so imperative for the direction of the ball, adding the angles or subtracting or rotating it like this in my hand, rotating the club like this at all, is going to exacerbate the errors dramatically. I would rather keep the face straight and swing it like this, not like this, where it's flipping and swiping the ball like that. Like this is much straighter. We're hitting these approach shots, so the goal is to hit it where we want it, towards our target, straight. In order to do that, think about keeping the club head square all the time. No rotation. No coming over, no flipping the hands over. We just keep it square. So if you look here, when I go to move this club, in my backswing, I take it back and then through, the face stays square. We want to maintain the face square relative to the path that it's on. We really don't want the face flaring open or closed, you know, that much at all. The more we can minimize this, the greater possibility we have to sending the ball towards the target. So don't think about rotating it. In the backswing, yes, when I hinge it, it will be sort of open, but it's really square to the path. I'm not twisting it open, it's hinging. And then when we release the hinge, I do not want to release the hinge over like this. I want to release the hinge such that the face gets to square and then continues square, so the butt of the club is passing under me and under my arm and not going over and flipping the face closed like this. To hit these shots square, you want to hold the face square as long as possible through impact. It's going to feel like you're holding it open, but in fact you're not. It's going to be closing slightly relative to the arc, but you're definitely not forcing it closed like this. This is important as you hit these shots, to keep this going square with the target. So as we come under and then come through the shot, I don't want to close off and swing left like this. I want to actually keep this going under and keep the face going towards the target in an open manner, and then follow through underhanded. These shots are very much an underhanded blow like this, and not a smothering, covering type of shot. Having it square and open like this will send that ball towards that target. So when you finish your swing, you find your position and you go back and you come through, we want to finish very much like this, with the club pointed kind of in my gut and kind of open. And of course it will finish something like that. I do not want to finish like this. Club is closed, flared left. I'm going to show you this motion from this side so you can see what it looks like. The face is square here. I go back, the face is still square. I move back into the ball, face is square, and it comes open like this. Rather, it doesn't come open, it's just staying square. I'm trying not to close. You see, this position that I have here, the face is straight up and down. It's straight up and down here. And then when I finish my swing, this position is the same as this one. It's still straight. If I were to close the face, it would be here, which is there. I don't want that. I want this. So it looks like this. Holding straight. From this side, it would look like this. Holding straight. All right, so to hit the ball where you want to, you've got to get those two things in your favor. The club path needs to be going relatively straight with your target, and the face needs to be square to the path. Once you have these two things, then you can hit the ball in the direction that you want to. Work on this. Discover the position of your body so that you can swing straight with your alignment stick. If you don't have an alignment stick, you can use a club. Just set it down like this and swing on top of the club until you can get straight with that. You can do this in your room. You don't even have to be on the golf course because you're not really making a full swing. You're just determining what your body looks like through impact and what the face is doing through impact, because that's what matters. That's when you hit the ball. Whatever the path is doing through impact and whatever the face is doing through impact, that is what's going to dictate where the ball goes. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll pick it up next week with some more details on getting these approach shots close to the hole, including posture and some more on the path and face. See you next time.